This is Todd. Let me just get started for a second here to get my leg past the point. Now it's weird, I'm using a new phone right now, and so it's kind of strange because the screen is wider than 9:16, so I'm not sure if it's really showing me. Let's see. Not sure exactly how to set this up. Whoa, allows me to zoom in. Crazy. It's funny, the phone is actually not new. It's just new to me because it was my daughter's old phone and she decided to upgrade. I'm like, hey, I'll take your old phone because I have an iPhone 6S Plus and the phone I'm using now, hey Jason, is X Max. I thought, what the heck? Might as well use this new phone. All right, so let me go ahead and get. Okay, weird. So there's actually more I can see on the screen than what my screen's actually showing me. Let me try to zoom in and see what it does on the video. Sorry about the lag. I know, I'm playing to see how this all works. Is it going to actually zoom up on the live video too? Oh, it did. Hey, look at that. So that's how far my leg is. That's crazy. That's cool. I can also see your guys' comments on this same screen too. I don't have to go and get a separate phone anymore. That's so cool. All right. Anyway, so let's go and talk about glow-in-the-dark paint. That's what we're here for, right? So somebody asked me just recently, hey Mike, thanks for joining us. Jason, thanks for being here. Just actually asked me a couple times now, which glow-in-the-dark paint do I use? And I use different ones that I've had through the years. I've had these little containers that that my son has bought me one time for Christmas, and they're cool because they're all white, but then when you hit the glow in the dark, they're different colors. And I used to have like 6 of these, and I used to have a green and a white as well, but I've used them all up. So I went back and bought another container, which is the same brand, and I put a link to it in the description so you can get the exact same brand that I bought originally. So let's go ahead and check these out. So let me turn the lights off, and then we'll actually do some painting in a few minutes. Lights off. Hey, there we go. Now it's dark in here. I suppose I should turn off this lighted, because she's probably going to be too distracting, because she's going to be a lot brighter than the glow in the dark stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and look at these. Let me go ahead and charge these up. Where is my flashlight? There it is. So let's start with the lilac, because that's the coolest. Seeing the purple. Bump, 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 bump. And you can see how it kind of glows. Now I do have a blue light turned on in here, so it may be causing some difference. And it's also not pitch black in here. I got a secondary window that shows light. You can see how that glows. Kind of purplish color. And then here is the blue. And you can see the blue versus the purple. The blue does glow brighter than the purple. And then I have my aqua, which actually glows brighter than both of them. The closer you get to green, the brighter it glows. So you can see this one here glows pretty good. In fact, it almost looks green on the camera, but it's actually has a little bit of aqua color to it. It's not just pure green. Now I don't have a pure green anymore, as I used it all up. And then here's my brand new white one. And it's funny, if you just do one side, you can see the difference of how it glows. It's kind of weird how it looks when you only do half of it. And there we go. There is the white, which is my favorite out of all of them, is the white, because I mean that's what we always wanted as a kid, right? Was white glow in the dark. All right, so let's talk about the problem versus the actual glow in the dark stuff. So if you use like a spray can like this right here, let me get another light so you guys can see instead of making you watch in the dark. There we go. So this is glow in the dark that I just recently bought, and I've used it to spray on some glow in the dark stuff. trying to think what I used it on last. I think it was things I sold, so I don't think I have any left here. What did I spray? I know I got a big circle of it right here on my piece of cardboard. I don't remember what it was I sprayed. Anyway, I found if you use these Krylon glow-in-the-darks, it takes an awful lot to make it glow. I'm surprised how much it takes. It took so many coats of this. And it's even weirder, I found out, if you aim the canister this way and try to spray things laying on top of something, it has less glow-in-the-dark stuff that comes out of it. You have to spray it standing up for it to work. And this was a white glow, and I was all excited about it, thinking it'd be like this in a spray can. But it took so much to coat things in this. It's just unbelievable how much it takes. Oh, I know what I spray painted. Let me go get them. We can take a look and see. Oh, here we go. I spray painted some skeletons. These used to be pink in color. And I think I first hit them with a regular white spray. And then after I hit them with white, then I hit them with the glow. Because if you just hit with glow only, it just won't work very well. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. And it took a lot of coats. I remember when I was spray painting this guy, it took so many coats of paint to get him to glow. All right, let's pull out the big guns. We're going to charge you up, man. Brr. Because it's a glow white, it may be kind of hard to see that he's actually glowing as opposed to a green. There you go. You can kind of see he's kind of glowing. But again, white does not glow as much as green does, so you can kind of see he's kind of glowing. See, compared to his back where he's not glowing and his front where he is. Ooh, ah. So you can kind of see the difference where the light was shining on him versus where the light was not shining. So not a massive glow, but in the pitch black, it does look pretty cool. But anyway, and it took a lot of coats of paint to get this skeleton to be this much glow. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other glow-in-the-dark stuff before we paint. And let me look at your guys' comments. It's weird, the comments went away. I'm not sure how to, oh, there it is. Oh, well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Now all I see is your comments. Hey, there we go. Well, now I can't see my screen. No. Okay. Let me turn the comments off. Hide all comments, and I will open my other phone. Sorry about that, you guys. Like I said, experimenting with something new. Jesse A says, I've been considering picking up a Revelation Scare Glow, specifically to paint it, but I'm unsure what type of paint to use, so thank you for doing this video. Hey, you're welcome. So, I was also thinking about painting Scare Glow for the same reason, because just his head glows in the dark, but I decided, you know what, it's just not worth it. Because even like this guy here, I used the strongest glow-in-the-dark paint you can get at the time. And I thought it'd be cool to make his face glow in the dark. That was my main goal. Originally, his head was like this. Off. Hold on. Originally, his head was like this. And you could see how many coats it took in order to make the glow work. And I remember being very disappointed because the first thing I painted with the glow-in-the-dark paint. And you could see the details of his mouth and nose are almost completely gone with that paint. So let's see how it looks when I hit it with the light. And then this was the green spray paint that was Krylon. I just coated it with green spray paint thinking, okay, I'll just paint this one green because it's supposed to be green. This guy is so hard to stand up because his cape is so heavy and his legs just buckle. Oh well, we'll just let his legs buckle. There we go. Now what's strange is with this white glow they used to have is it's kind of sparkly. And so you can see it looks almost like stars where some chunks are lighter than other chunks. So you can kind of see how the glow is on there. And at the time I was kind of impressed, but again it took so many coats and you can see his nose didn't get coated quite as well and it's not a very even job on the coats. And even the spray paint took a lot of coats of spray paint. So that's the trick. If you're planning on painting something and you want it held within lines, it's going to take a lot of steady hand painting in order to get it. All right, let's take a look at something else. So this guy, I wanted to give him a magical book that had glow-in-the-dark stuff. And I guess it would have been cooler if I would have done it the other way around, where I made the skull glow in the dark instead of making the skull the piece out. But believe it or not, there's actually glowing in the back of the book. And you can see it on this side a little bit. I used the white glow around Castle Grayskull and the green glow on Castle Grayskull and the lightning. And you can kind of see how it looks there with the different glows. But again, I didn't put tons of coats of the white glow on there. And then I used spray paint to make the green glow. So you can see the spray paint just doesn't work spectacular. All right, let's go ahead and continue on to... Why do my phone keeps shutting down? I can't see your guys' comments. Hey, Snooker, thanks for being here. Kevin, thanks for being here. All right, so let me go and show you these swords. Now, these swords are kind of cool. I want them like lightsabers, so you can see they glow pretty good. But again, the issue is it took so much of that paint that look at the size difference between the glow-in-the-dark sword and the regular sword. I literally took a paper cup, cut a small hole in it, and dropped the handle into the paper cup, and then just kept painting it over and over again for hours, just coating it with all that glow-in-the-dark paint in order to make enough. So what I found out is, experimenting with all this glow-in-the-dark stuff, that all the paint in the world, from what I've seen so far, it takes an awful lot of that paint. And this was a mixture of the spray paint that I used on this one. So you can see it's kind of cool and it shines through the shield. But again, it was, it took a lot of coats to get it to that point. But it is cool that it glows, but it just took a lot of effort to actually do it to get to that. All right, so as opposed to something that is already glow-in-the-dark plastic. So here's a guy that was made out of plastic that glows in the dark. The Spirit of Grayskull. And because with plastic they can get more of the glow stuff in there because it's solid, it just glows a whole lot better. Even if you make your own custom stuff, like this sword right here is actually a custom sword that Spy Monkey Creations made. And they used a lot of the powder in the resin when they made this. So this thing just glows like no other. And you can actually see the dots of the resin, mixed in with the resin, that actually makes it glow. But it does glow pretty bright. All right. So I've shown you guys lots of glow-in-the-dark stuff. You can see my other figures sitting around here. I even added glow-in-the-dark. I had leftover paint that was dried out and kind of rubbery. I literally just stuffed it inside here to make it glow. And because the rubber's so thick, it takes a while for it to get charged up. But here is the glowing ball. Now, the reason why I brought the glowing ball out is here's my other ball that I made. And this one I used a small little candle light and a wire, and look at the difference. I mean, just the light up stuff is so much better and so much cooler, and it just takes a little more effort to make something actually light up as opposed to glow in the dark, that I'm kind of getting a little irritated with. If the glow in the dark stuff looked like this, that would be amazingly awesome, because you have to have it so dark in the room to get it to show up. But anyway, enough complaining. Let's get to painting. I'm going to paint this head right here. So let me turn the lights on. Lights on. Oh, those lights are so bright. I've been blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. Okay. Let me go ahead and use this brand new paint. I've not used it yet. Whenever you paint a head or something, try to find something to stick it on, just like this. And then I just found this rubber dealy bob, and the hand happens to fit just right. I find also sometimes using the back ends of pencils work well. I've also used little ball pieces with heat shrink tubing on it. And then after that, you want to have your paint ready and some brushes and a spare cup just in case things go wrong. So you can lay that on there and not have your paint get all over the place. Let's find a tray to paint this on. Oh. So slide all these people down. Slide on down. Oh, she lost one of her lightsaber handles. Yeah, it's funny. I've bought so many of these figures that I decided to cut some of them with the handles off, because in the cartoon she can actually has just the handles and then turns them on into the sabers. But they're not really lightsabers, but they look like lightsabers, but they don't act like lightsabers. They're not as deadly. They don't slice and dice. All right, so I got my paint. I got my brushes. Let's go and open this brand new. And like I said, there's a link to this paint on my description. Let me get some paper towels really quick. Hold on a second. There they are. My paper towels were already in here. All right, so let's get to painting. So you can see the consistency of this paint right. You know what? I'm gonna try that zoom feature. Boop. You can see the consistency of this paint right here. It's kind of weird the way it is. It's almost like using Elmer's glue or something. But I wonder how close it is to Elmer's glue, because it seems like that after it dries too. And it's considered a water-based paint, so man, that zoom is so cool. That's it, you guys. I'm using the zoom all the time now when I'm doing live videos. All right, and let's just go ahead and just paint that on there. Burp, burp. We'll see how many thousands of coats it takes to do this. I'll do a nice thin coat first. And this is the faceless one, and his face did kind of glow in the cartoon. I don't know why they didn't make this a glowing feature to begin with. And people have complained about this head since this was first made, because it did not look like the cartoon. Kevin Koos made some really cool custom heads. I do have one of his heads that he made, and it is amazing. It looks more like the cartoon, but this will have to do for now. Just take the Matty Collector head, paint it on up, paint it on up. I'll look at your guys' comments in a minute. Like I said, the first coat, just a really nice thin coat, just to see what we got. See if this paint is as amazing as they say it is on their advertising. And then we may have to go with some thicker coats as time goes on. I think when I first originally painted this head, I did the same thing too, nice thin coats. And then after about my 10th coat, I started just clobbing it on. I got so tired of it not performing to what I was expecting. All right, so let's go ahead and set this paintbrush aside. Let's kill the lights. Lights off. Okay. And let's kill this light too. Burp. And let's go ahead and turn on. I'll just use the flashlight. That should be good enough. Burp, burp, burp. And you can already see where the glow is on there. All the parts where you can see it lights up, that's where the glow paint is. And so it's very sparse, even though I painted the whole entire head. And that's what I found last time too, is I had little dots throughout all the paint. So you can kind of see how it looks and what it's going to take to finish this. So just like last time, it's going to take an awful lot of paint to make it look as cool as this bottle right here. Burp. Because, you know, that bottle's solid paint, so if it would glow that well with a light coat, that would be awesome. So, more paint. I'll let it dry, I'll add more paint and keep going. I'm guessing it's probably going to take about, like last time it took like 10 or 12 layers of paint to even have it even start to glow pretty good. So I'm guessing I'm looking at probably the same kind of process. I'll make a video later, or just do a live picture feed, or put it on Instagram when I have it finished so you guys can look at it and I'll compare it. Yes, that is Skeletor's father-in-law. That is the daughter of, or the father of Evelyn. It does look like white glue. It'd be really cool for magical effects. Now, what I have found out is I found it's just easier just to get 3D stuff. Let me show you something I've been working on. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. You guys are wondering, why are we watching this video of this blank brown thing? All right. So, as you guys know, I made this a long time ago, and I've shrunk it down in one of my videos and made it for origin size, and this is it right here. And it's kind of a fun little device, you know, and I know Mattel made these also. I made mine first. Before Mattel did, I added a cool bunch of controls on the back. And I made the feet extra big so it can stand on its own, as opposed to always falling over, because it shows Man-at-Arms working on it while it's standing on its own. Now, at one time, my first version, these were too short, so I actually used popsicle sticks to figure out how long they had to be, and kept changing the length to figure out where that cutoff point is before it would fall over. So what I did was I got this 3D pen, and it's like basically a 3D printer for your hand, and it plugs into a USB power supply. So I got this little external power supply. That's my phone. This external power supply to plug it in and run it. And then I just took and used this glow-in-the-dark spool. Yes, it's a cheater's way of making glow-in-the-dark stuff. Let me go ahead and hit this with the light so you guys can see it. It's the stuff I was making my ghosts out of, for the Spirit of Grayskulls out of. And I decided to use the green first because I really want to use the white. So I figured I'd experiment with the green. And I made this chunk, looks like this right here, to make like a ice blast coming out of here. Now if it was white glow in the dark, it'd be way cooler. But again, I was just experimenting with what I can come up with. Now it's too heavy to stay on its own, but you kind of get the idea. And so let me charge this thing up. And this is a cool way to make blast effects. Way cooler than trying to paint it on there. It's a lot brighter. It will last longer. And it's solid. And you can get that spool in all different colors of glow. From purple to blue to white. And so you could take and, you know, keep changing it out and making different shades on there. Or just make it in white and use clear paint to put all over it to make it the blast color the color you want. And that's what I was thinking of doing for my blast effects, is just using the white glow and then putting on the different shades of clear paint that I want, and creating my blast that way. So you can kind of see what I was messing with there. And way cooler than paint. Because like I said, the paint is just so limited and it takes so much. Anyway, let me take a look at your guys' comments. try airbrushing. If you were to airbrush this thick stuff, it wouldn't fit through airbrush just the way it is. You'd have to water it down a lot. And by watering it down, you would then end up having less glow material. If you're planning on airbrushing, just get the glow-in-the-dark powder and make your own mix with it. And if you go to the same guy, he sells just the powder too in the bags. So you don't have to use his gloop that he has for a base coat. And then just find some of your own paint that you want to mix with the powder for airbrushing. And you use the powder also for resin too if you want to, or anything else. So, but I think going forward, I'm not going to use a lot of glow-in-the-dark paint, unless I want to use it for some kind of accent and stuff. But I'm going to try to go more with a glow-in-the-dark plastic and just shape it the way I want. And it's kind of crazy. I wish I would have brought I should make a whole entire video on how to use this thing, because it's crazy all the cool things you can do with it. But I wish I would have brought my plug to plug it in to show you guys how it works. But it did take me probably about 20 minutes to make this little piece, so it's not easily reproducible, but it is fun for my own blast effects just to create whatever. I mean, 'cause I could take this and grab a He-Man sword and make all kinds of lightning stuff coming off of it the same way, and glow in the dark white. You know, it'd be really cool. Anyway, so glow in the dark paint, if you're going to buy them, click the link I have. It's the brightest stuff I found. It's still not perfect. It's still not awesome. It's just okay. They haven't reached that level of awesomeness yet. If you buy the spray can, just bear in mind it's going to take lots of coats in order to coat it. So just be ready for that. And also make sure you hold it upright when you spray it, because you got to get the glow-in-the-dark powder mixed into the paint. And if you have it down like this, it doesn't seem to mix it very well. All you do is get a clear coat. I'm not sure why it does that. And make sure you also shake it really, 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 really good, because it is that glow-in-the-dark powder that's actually spraying on stuff and getting there. So, all right. Anyway, before I go, let's go ahead and look at some more glow-in-the-dark goodness of things I've done in the past that was kind of cool. Let's see. So, oh yeah, what the heck? Let me show you some other slight issues with glow-in-the-dark. So, when I first did his armor, I wanted it to be glow-in-the-dark, as you know. And let's see, where's the other? Here he is. Oh. And so him, I actually used the paint on glow-in-the-dark instead of the spray on glow-in-the-dark. And it's before I ran out, and you can see his sword's dipped in it too. And the spray on stuff does work. It's easier, but it wasn't as bright. So this stuff you can see is going to be a lot brighter than what we saw on the other one. Let me go and charge it up for you. So you can see it's actually brighter than the spray paint. But you have to put it on pretty thick, like I was saying. So you can see it is pretty cool when you get the right stuff and you put enough on. But the bad part is it made his shield look yellow instead of green. See, check this out. Here is the original shield, and you could see it made it look more yellow than green once it was painted. And you also lost the ability of having it look quite so clear. Let's see, I got something else here. I think I got somebody's staff. Oh, down they go. Oh yeah, I wanted to do Eldor's staff, and you can see the glow-in-the-dark one isn't clear anymore. It's kind of yellowish in color, and the other one is clear. Let me go ahead and charge these up too to show you the difference. Of course, one was not going to glow at all because it's not supposed to, but you can kind of see. Ooh, I think I used the blue one on this, or the turquoise one. And this one took about 3 or 4 coats to get it. I mean, it did come out kind of cool, and it still has this clear likeness to it. Oh, the clear spray paints. Okay, this is important. I forgot to mention this. If you decide to clear coat it afterwards, you have to be careful what clear coat you get. All right, so here are some of my clear coats. Now, the way glow-in-the-dark works is it uses UV light in order to react. So if you use the UV resistant clear coat, you're going to ruin your glow-in-the-dark. It's not going to glow very bright, if at all, depending on how much you use. So even though it protects against harmful UV light rays, it also stops your glowing reaction from happening. So don't use the UV resistant. It costs more anyway, so I use it for when I do my 3D parts so that they stop curing. And I also use it on stuff that's going to go outside so they don't get sun bleached. But if you're going to use glow in the dark stuff, don't use the UV resistant because you will ruin your glow in the dark. So your next two choices are either clear or matte. I find for glow in the dark, the matte works the best. It spreads the glow more evenly. If you use the clear, crystal clear, then it doesn't create like a diffuser. And this kind of gives a diffuser look. So when you spray paint it with this, you don't have the bright little spots where the pigments actually, or the glow in the dark dust actually is compared to the rest of the paint. So this is the one you want to use, the matte finish, not UV, when you do glow in the dark. It is good to clear coat it because it will come off really easily if you don't. So always hit it with a clear coat when you're done. Hey, what is that? JFlex Toy World, thanks for joining us. Or Jefflex. So hey Toy World, thanks for being with us. Dean, thanks for being here. Let's see, Ray. And yes, Sunman is UV active as well. Yep. Let's see, Hebrew, I'll send you info for the yellow lens. It will change your world for shooting glow. Hey, thanks, I appreciate that. Nice, Kevin. All right, well, that's all that I have on the glow in the dark stuff. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. I've done a lot of glow in the dark paint throughout the years with all this stuff. So I've learned from trial and error, not really from going to school or anything. Again, I just like to make them lighted. It just makes it so much better. Burp. You know, but maybe it's not always feasible to make things lit up. Like for instance, trying to light up one of their little swords is hard. And even Mattel, when they try to light up a sword, where is that guy? Oh, this guy glows pretty cool though. Actually, the brand new Scare Glow glows really good. But even Mattel tried to light up the sword. It was not a really great way they did it. But anyway, I mean, it is better than glow in the dark, but actually, let's compare them. Let's put the glow in the dark up here, the one that I hand painted, not the one I spray painted. This is it here. And let's compare the two lights. Okay. I'll just use my UV flashlight. Burp. Let's get this thing lit up. Well, actually, the glow in the dark's brighter to start with. That's funny. Okay. I guess I stood corrected. The glow in the dark could be awesomely cool if you do it right. You gotta keep re-pushing the button to light it up again. Brrr. Is it good to buy 3D printed glow in the dark stuff, or you don't recommend? I'd be careful buying 3D stuff from anybody. The quality of 3D stuff is so vastly different from one person to the next. As you guys know, when I do my 3D stuff, I try to either resin coat it or something else, depending on what level you buy in at. These are resin printer parts that come out super smooth, but sometimes you get people that print them on a regular printer that uses filament, and depending on what they have the settings on, it can look pretty rough. I've seen some guys online selling swords and stuff, and they just look awful. And so I would suggest that you really look into some of their examples of their parts. Make sure you get high-res pictures, because when you get your parts, you want them to look as smooth as you can. Here's an example of my 3D printed swords, for instance. And even these sometimes you'll get little ridges right in here. I don't know if you can see it or not in the picture, but I can feel it with my thumb. But again, you just want to really check out what process they're using. They don't make a lot of resin glow in the dark stuff. I've tried to price it, and if you do ever find any, it's like so expensive, it doesn't make it feasible to print. So for glow in the dark, you're stuck having to use the filament, this stuff right here. But again, if you use this, I try to make it so that I print them as smooth as I possibly can. And so just make sure you're checking your sources on what they're using and how they're doing it. Like I said, I've seen some guys that have some awesome, really cool objects they created in 3D, but then when they go to actually print them or make them, they just look like garbage or trash. And it's like, dude, you spent all this time creating this really awesome thing, and then you can see all the jaggies everywhere. So I don't mean to, sound condescending or anything, but I think just sometimes, and like with me, I try to sand the parts, or like I said, resin coat them and other things like that too, depending on the price point. Now, granted, a lot of times my things do cost more because of that, but if things are not high enough quality, a lot of times I just toss them in the trash. So that is an important thing to find out. Jeff Flex. Your name is Jeff, and you love to flex. Nice. All right. Jeff Flex. I'll try to remember that. I used to back in my younger days, of course. All right. Anyway, like and subscribe. I know it's been kind of a long video, longer than I anticipated. It's probably been sitting long enough to actually put another coat of glow in the dark on here. But just like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Remember to check those sources on stuff before you buy it, because like I said, sometimes the 3D stuff is a hit and miss. And I've seen some great objects that have just been executed poorly. All right, I will see you guys next video. Man, am I missing anything? I just feel like there's something else I was going to share in this video, but I can't recall what it is. I got a bunch of figures sitting on the side over here for some reason. I don't remember. Oh well. All right. Well, next video. Oh, by the way, do you still have any more of your cool 3D printed classic inspired power swords built for Origins? Jeff Flex, I do have some in work. I haven't sanded them yet. They've just been sitting under my desk waiting for me to sand for about 2 weeks. Hopefully I'll get to them this week to get them sanded so they're ready to go. I hate just releasing them the way they are. They're just a little bit too rough for my taste. The bad news is my last batch, less of them worked, and a lot of them got stuck in the printer. And so I may have to charge a little more for them than I did the last batch, just to make up for costs of materials and time and stuff. So the next batch on eBay will be a little more spendy. I apologize. Hopefully the cost will still be lower than the original ones that I had, so that'll be cool. But we'll see what they come out as. All right, thanks for asking. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. Good journey, you guys. Let's go and make this thing glow one more time before we kill the video. Dun 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 dun. I only charged the top half of the shield. No. Actually, the cool one is the She-Ra one. Where is she? She-Ra. Oh, I got wet paint on my arm. Oh. It's funny, I bought some extra shields just so I'd have shields that if they didn't work, I could not have to ruin them all. Now the bad part is right where those two pieces are that connect to her arm on the inside. You can see kind of the shadow there. But I guess it's kind of fun. I guess I'm enjoying myself a little too much. Burn. And it's supposed to glow. It's funny. Everyone always said to me I should put it on her visor too. But if you did it on her visor, it makes it so it's not as see-through, and so you wouldn't be able to see your eyes through there. Just become glow in the dark. So you lose the see-throughness once you hit the glow on there. So as you can see, her shield used to be more see-through, and now because the glow in the dark paint on the back, it makes it more opaque. Opaque, is that the right word? I think so. Your sword has gone out. Oh. Actually, let's compare this lighted ball to this one that's fully charged. Let's just see. It is actually kind of close. I'm surprised. Maybe lighted isn't the best way if you have a quick UV light to charge it up right away. You know, I tried to put a UV light inside the glowing ball one time just to see what happened, but that was a failure too. Anyway, sorry for going on and on and on and on. You're like, when is this guy going to stop? Right now. Goodbye.